What is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be discussing a topic that I think you console players specifically will really enjoy. So roughly 2 weeks ago, there was the $1 million PS4 only tournament in Fortnite named the Celebration Cup. And overall, I thought the event was really cool, and it resulted in a lot of people making a couple $100, which is always a good thing. However, if any of you care, my personal experience with the tournament was actually pretty terrible. I tried to use an adapter so I could play with my Xbox controller on PS4, but about 2 games into the event, it basically died on me. So yeah, I hope you guys had a better time than I did. However, the focus of this video is going to be about the variety of PC players that switch back to console for 1 to 2 days just to play this event. And as I'm going to showcase throughout the duration of this video, the results of that ended up being pretty interesting. But before we get into that, this video today is sponsored by the app Frag Pro Shooter, the best mobile shooter game of 2020. Unlike other mobile shooter games, Frag Pro Shooter is specifically designed for mobile devices, which makes it so much smoother to play. The gameplay revolves around building a team of 5 upgradable characters for short and exciting PvP matches. The actual rules of the game are fairly simple. You collect cards of up to 70 different unique and interesting characters to build your team of 5, and your main goal is to destroy the enemy towers before they destroy yours. You'll first have to destroy your enemy's 2 mini towers before being able to damage the big tower, which will automatically grant you the win. During the match, you only control 1 character at a time, but you can switch between your other 4 as well. Another cool part of Frag Pro Shooter is the social aspect of the game. Clubs are very important, and if you're interested in joining my club, the name is simply my name, GronKy. Plus, if you use the link in the description to sign up, you'll get an X1 golden chest, 500 coins, and 50 diamonds for free, which is a $6 value. Alright, so as most of you guys are probably aware, console Fortnite gets pretty disrespected by most top players no matter what input device they play on. I've heard pros say things like, all console players are brain dead, they don't know how to play the game, there's a reason they're still on console, etc, etc. And because of the popularity of that mindset in the Fortnite community, a lot of these players that planned on going back to console for this tournament were feeling pretty confident. I mean, a lot of these guys are super successful pros that have placed in huge tournaments and made insane amounts of money, so they probably felt like some little console event should be easy. And I specifically remember being in a pretty popular pro mouse and keyboard player stream a few days before the tournament, not gonna say the name because I don't want him to get hated on, and someone in his chat basically brought up the Celebration Cup. And even though he said he wasn't personally gonna play it because he didn't even have a PS4, he kinda half-jokingly, half-seriously said something along the lines of, look, I can guarantee you one of the controller on PC goons is gonna go back and win that tournament with ease. And to be fair, there was at least a little bit of logic behind that viewpoint. The last major tournament that put console players up against other console players was the Winter Royale. However, since Winter Royale also had a PC section, almost all the PC players obviously just played that. So this was really the first time that those top PC guys, and specifically controller on PC players, had real incentive to go back to console. So how did that end up playing out? Well, let's take a look at some tweets, shall we? So here's one guy who started off kinda optimistically saying, need good PS4 settings, my sense and everything feels shambles, but then he followed it up with, definitely never touching my PS4 again after tomorrow, this is shambles, how does anyone play on this? Then Camo responded to that tweet saying, it's so bad LMAO, especially linear feels so uncomfortable, but I can't play Legacy either. So that kinda set the stage, but don't worry, I have way more. Not playing PS4, don't really enjoy it. I was good at the end, but it's still no fun at all to play. After playing on console for the last hour, I don't know how you guys do it. Props to the console community. I'm truly sorry for anyone that actually has to play console on a daily basis. Console makes me feel like it's my first time ever playing Fortnite. How can anyone play on a console? You are legit living in the caveman era. It takes 2 working days to load Fortnite. There's no way 60 FPS is this bad. Console feels like I'm playing on a toaster. WTF is this? After playing on console for the last hour, I don't know how you guys do it. Props to the console community. Alright, wait, hold up, I just realized this guy just copy and pasted Aiden's tweet, so okay, maybe ignore that one, sorry about that. This game is just unplayable if you think about it. On PS4, ping is even more OP than on PC. And finally, my personal favorite tweet from Astonish, me seeing people complaining about how bad console is when they said it was easy. And now, as if that wasn't enough, here are 3 quick clips that further showcase what a lot of these pros experience.
Dude, this game's so laggy on console, bro. This game is so laggy on console. Oh my god, that's a free win, bro.
Where? Yes. What the? I can't aim! You have no guns! Just die to me! Please! I can't do this. I can't do this input lag. Thank you. Jesus Christ. I'm embarrassing myself over here. I can't aim on this. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too hard. I literally should have picked up the controller.
Bro, this is so... My god, bro. GG's, man. GG's. Dude, I'm never hopping on this console again, chat. Never plugging this shit back in ever again.
So I hope you guys found those clips funny because I thought the Bumble one especially was hilarious. I've heard people say that there's so much input lag when playing mouse and keyboard on console that it's even harder than playing controller on console. And let me just say this right now, I totally understand where all these players are coming from. I had that same moment of realization a few months ago when I played the Winter Royale on console. I've mentioned it in 1 or 2 videos before, but you really do underestimate the amount of input lag that console has compared to PC, and you also underestimate how gross 60 FPS feels compared to the 200 or so most people average on PC. Now, to be fair, I don't want to make it seem like none of these PC players were successful at all, because that would be untrue. Just on the top of my head, in NA East, I know Beanie finished top 10, I believe 9th to be exact. Can't remember exactly where Assault placed, but it was still really solid, like top 20 or 25, and there are a few other, mainly PC players who did really solid as well. However, that's a pretty far cry from what a lot of people were expecting, which, like I mentioned earlier, was absolute dominance out of these players. Almost all the winners or like top 3 finishers were either mainly console players or PC players that play on console very frequently. And that's something that I was actually expecting from the very beginning. The majority of the PC goons that underperformed here made the major mistake of either not practicing on console at all before the event, or maybe they played a few hours of games 1 to 2 days before. The people that tried doing that were pretty much doomed from the start. The smart guys hopped on about 1 to 2 weeks before and played at least a couple of games on console each day to get adjusted. Now, I want to make one thing very clear here. I don't want your takeaway from this video to be, oh wow, all those players I thought were so good are only good because they're on PC. No, not true at all. Your takeaway should basically be 2 different things. First off, the difference between console and PC Fortnite is so massive that it can make some of the best PC pros in the world look so much worse than they actually are. I mean, I showed you about 15 different tweets and clips from mostly pro-level players who basically rage quit the event. That should send a very powerful message. The second thing is that I really hope this whole experience results in PC players gaining at least a little more respect for console players. I've seen some pros kind of clown some of the highest earning console players because they don't look like some of the mechanical gods you see on PC. But that's just mostly because 60 FPS and input lag caps your ceiling in terms of mechanics, so those same gods came onto console, they'd suddenly look a lot less flashy and mechanically gifted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about all these PC players coming back to console and basically having a horrible time. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.